it's Rebecca here from Precious Pages Papercraft, and today I'm designing a layout for Bramble Fox, and I'm using some new goodies that will be added to the store shortly. I'm creating this quite far in advance, so they might actually already be in the store by the time this goes live, but if not, they will be soon. So I'll pop a link in the description box below to the Bramble Fox shop. Head on over there and keep an eye out and check out all the new things that Morag adds each month, because she's been adding a lot lately. She's been super busy, clearly. So I've got this gorgeous perspective. It says happy day, and it really made me think of this photo. It's of my little boy and I, and it was taken back in September, and it was the last day I had off of school for the summer holidays. So he still had one more day left, but I had to go in for teacher training. So it was our last day off together, and we went out to our local farm and play sort of adventure ground, and we had a really lovely day together, and it was really nice just to enjoy that last day together. So that's the photo I'm going to use with this, and I love that my little boy's wearing blue in the photo, which is quite boyish in a way, and then the perspective is pink, which is my favourite colour. So I feel like there's both colours represented on this layout, so it's representative of both of us. There's a bit of blue and a bit of pink. And of course I'm using Simple Stories' new Simple Vintage Life in Bloom collection. I'm in love with this collection. It's gorgeous, and I've sat with it on my desk for a week or so now, and I keep getting it out to use it and then looking at it all and being really intimidated by how beautiful it is, and I put it back away again. So today I decided it was the day to cut into it and get going. So this is my first play with it, and I love how this layout turned out. And I'm going to focus on kind of the blues and the pinks, and I'm going to bring in tones of black to help everything pop off of the page. So I've cut a strip of that black floral patterned paper to go down the centre of my page, or slightly off centre. It's a couple of inches wide, or maybe about 3 inches wide, and then I've torn the edge at the bottom just for a bit of texture, and I've added a blue piece behind that. Because my little boy's wearing blue, I wanted to bring in a little bit of that colour. So I've gone for a strip of blue behind it, and I fell in love with that film strip piece as well on one of the cut apart sheets. So I've brought all of those together, and I'm just layering them up, and I've distressed all of the edges with my scissors. I love the texture that brings to the page. And I'm going to add some foam behind my photo, and also behind a couple of layers of these papers, just to bring in a bit more dimension. I always feel like you can't have too much dimension on a layout. So there's foam behind my photo, and then that film strip piece I cut in half, so I've still got half for another day. And I stuck that to the black floral strip, and I'm adding foam behind the pair of those to raise that up, and then the blue piece will be stuck down flat to my background. So as well as the happy day perspective, I've also got a couple of acrylic butterflies I'm going to put on this layout, and they come in the same set. So you get the happy day title. I think the other piece that comes in this set is a sweet title in the same sort of baby pink colour, and then you get 3 acrylic butterflies, 2 in the darker pink and that lovely turquoisey colour. So I'm going to put my title underneath my photo. Because I've raised that black floral paper up on foam, and my title is going to overhang, so it's going to sit on there and then overhang onto my background, I needed to add some foam just behind the last few letters of my title, just so that they've got some contact with that white cardstock, and that my title can sit flat on my layout. And then I've reached for my glossy accents, my favourite adhesive for acrylics. And I know I say this every layout, it is my go-to adhesive for acrylics. It's got really strong hold, and it's really easy to use. So I always use that for my Bramble Fox products. So I've got that in place, and I'm going to have my little butterflies, one either side of my title there. I've got a couple of fussy cut butterflies that are from one of the patterned papers in the Life in Bloom collection. And then I've pulled out a couple of floral clusters from the sticker book. And I love that these have got some green on as well, just really fresh colours on this page. And it was one of those days where it was really sunny, the grass was really green, and it just, all the things on this page just remind me of that day. It was just like one of the last summer days just before autumn crept in, and we still had t-shirts on and didn't need a jumper. I think probably a couple of weeks back into the school term, and that all started changing and the trousers came back out. But I love the fresh summery colours on this page, makes me really happy. Those stickers I've stuck to white cardstock just because they are almost like rice paper in the Simple Stories books. They are really thin paper stickers, and I wanted to add a bit of dimension behind them anyway, but just sticking them on the cardstock makes them a bit more sturdy, a bit more rigid, and they're less flimsy and less likely to tear. If you're too heavy-handed trying to get these out of the sticker book, they're really easy to tear. So this just sort of makes them a bit more sturdy, and then I can add some foam pads behind those. I'm going to have one either side of my photo there. Do have to cut a little bit off that one because I stuck foam behind the pattern paper. I couldn't quite tuck it under, the foam was blocking it. So just snipped a bit off, and then using some foam pads just to add in a little bit of dimension there. And these foam pads are just really cheap ones. I get them normally from the range if they're in stock. If not, then Amazon, and obviously I get through loads of them. But those are my A4 craft adhesive foam sheets I just wouldn't be without. I love all the dimension on a page. And those butterflies, I've used a foam pad behind the bodies as well, just to raise those up. And then the wings I've left flapping free so I can bend those up. Obviously when the layout goes into an album, it'll all flatten back out. But if I ever did want to get it out and put it in a box frame or anything, I could quite easily free those wings up again. And I was a bit bothered by the empty space over on the right hand side of the page. So I have that floral cluster and that gorgeous pink acrylic butterfly. But then I had this white space, and there wasn't the same white space on the left hand side where I've offset my photo. There was more of the blue paper on the left than the right. And I just felt like the page was a little bit unbalanced. So I'm using a couple of the tags from, there's a 12 by 12 sheet of paper covered in tags. It's gorgeous. So I've pulled out a couple of those just to add in. I wanted some black over on that right hand side. There's a lot of black on the left and none on the right at the moment. So I've added a tag there, and I've added some metal eyelets to those as well in colours that match what's on the layout. So the one on the right hand side has got a lovely sort of sky blue coloured metal eyelet, and then the one on the left has got a lovely lime green to match those vibrant leaves in those floral clusters from the sticker book. And then I still felt like my layout was more to the left of the page, which normally doesn't bother me. I quite like to offset things, but I just felt like it was very left heavy and needed something on the right hand side. So I'm just going to add a couple of strips of patterned papers. I've torn them and I'm going to curl the edges back for lots of texture, and I'll add another tag over there as well, just to help to balance the page out. So here we go, I've gone for that lovely black floral paper again, and I've gone for a pink spotty paper to match my acrylic title. I wanted to have a little bit more pink on the page on that side. So I've gone for that pink paper. I'm going to stick those down with some double-sided tape, and as I said, I will add a tag through there as well. And I think I actually make my own tag. One of the tags I'd cut, that one on the right, the black florally one. The rest of the tag that I'd cut off, oh no, sorry, I used the one from the left. That the reverse side of it, I loved all the colours on it, and I thought it was a great way to get lots of different colours over onto that right hand side. So I've just used another tag as a kind of template to cut those corners off, because I can never get those symmetrical. And I'm just adding an eyelet through that again, in a colour that matches. So I've gone for a lilac one this time because I've got some lilac in the floral clusters from those stickers. And then I'm just going to add that through, and you would never really know that that wasn't an actual tag itself and that I'd handmade that. And then another little butterfly down there, and I think that's pretty much me done. But I love how this pink title just stands out against that black, and it's just a really pretty page, really lovely colours. I'm in love with this collection, and I love the font that Happy Day has got. It's one of my favourite fonts that Bramble Fox use. So everything about the day itself I loved, and everything about this layout I just love. So it's one of those that really makes me happy, and I might even have it on display in my craft room. Just one of those things that makes you smile. But that's me done. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the layout and the process, and it gives you some inspiration. Like I said, I will pop a link in the description box to the shop for you. Hopefully by the time this goes live, this set will be available in the store. If not, then it will be very soon. And I'll also add a link to our Facebook group as well, Bramble Fox Friends. So do head on over and join there. But thanks again for joining me. I'll leave you with the last few close-ups, and I will see you next time.